हेलो एवरीबॉडी, आई होप आप लोग सभी अपने घर पर सुरक्षित हैं, सेफ हैं और उन सभी नॉर्म्स का पालन कर रहे हैं जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया और डब्ल्यूएचओ द्वारा सुझाए गए हैं कोरोना से बचने के लिए। सो स्टूडेंट्स, आज जो हम टॉपिक डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं दैट इज सेगमेंटेशन, टारगेटिंग एंड पोजिशनिंग। आई विल ट्राई टू कवर ऑल दीज थ्री इन दिस पर्टिकुलर लेक्चर, बट इन केस इफ वी हैव टू डिले दिस, सेगमेंटेशन का टॉपिक इस लेक्चर में करेंगे और उसके बाद जो नेक्स्ट वीडियो होगा उसमें टारगेटिंग और पोजिशनिंग का करेंगे। तो सेगमेंटेशन, लेट अस स्टार्ट विद दिस। As the name suggests, segmentation means dividing or division of a market. And why we are dividing or making segments out of a market? The reason is simply related to the resources, the limited resources of the company. Let's say in this particular diagram, two triangles are there. I've distributed, I've given names as males and females. So in this way, the company is supposed to filter whether whatever they are going to manufacture is for males or females or like whom. This is beneficial because it gives you an insight to the company that they can select that particular segment where they can perform better. For example, in a company, it is always there that the resources are limited in number and you can spread them to whatever number of people or whatever markets you can. But the only loop is that whether you are going to satisfy them all with your resources or your production or your product or not. So when you are selecting a big number of a very big market or many segments of the same market, then there are chances that the company may suffer losses or you can say dissatisfaction among the people. So all we have to do is to segment the market on the basis of the requirements of the people and the resources match of the company, so that we can provide the best to them. So let us move to the next slide. uh, Segmentation. I've given a definition by Philip Kotler, the father of marketing. Market segmentation is the subdividing of market into homogeneous subsections of consumers or customers, where any subsection may conceivably be selected as a market target to be reached with a distinct marketing mix. Yes, what kind of market or what sort of market we are segmenting? Look, there are the market basically consists of people who are mixed in different aspects. For example, we have people of different economic backgrounds in the market, we have people of different education level, we have people of different socio-economy background, we have different geographical locations. So I am using the word again that we can cater all of them, but the only loop is that if we are going to cater them all, then probably we may fail to satisfy them. So for this particular thing, we need to divide the heterogeneous market or a market where the people are of different kind of needs and desire level. We have to segment them on the basis of similar characteristics of their. So here we are dividing the heterogeneous market into various homogeneous segments, and each homogeneous segment is to be considered as a market for one company or one product. In the diagram below, I mentioned that a company which is manufacturing clothes, they are looking forward for the tentative target market. So what they are doing is they are let's say the very first thing is what we are supposed to manufacture. Are we going to manufacture the unstitched clothes or a piece of cloth, or whether we are going to manufacture the stitched piece of clothes? So the very first market segment can be on the basis of the gender, or I must say the demographic base or geographical base, whatever base can be. मैंने यहाँ पर demographic base में उनकी gender को आधार लिया, तो male and female, and in male and female what further means the infants, the kids, the young and the senior citizens. So this is what segmentation is, and this term segmentation is somehow related to the perfectionist part of the company. While you are looking forward for this particular thing, you can say that the perfection part is achieved through this segmentation implementation thing. So let's move to the next slide. The interlinking of segmentation, targeting and positioning. All these three basically they are interlinked to each other. The very first step is segmentation, in which we are making segments of the whole market, and then on the basis of the identification of segments, what we are going to do is we are going to target which market or what I have to enter, where I have to enter, and how I have to operate. For example, this male female part is there, and so in this segmentation part, let's say male female is there. What we are supposed to do is we have to target one, let's say male, and then what in male, the infants, the kids, the young people, or the senior citizen. So this is to be treated here. So first is segmentation, then you have to target your audience, target your potential buyers or consumers, and then you have to position your product in the mind of them so that they can have a very good picture or very good image of your product in their minds. So let's have a look at what these means actually. Segmentation, it considers variables for segmenting market. Variables I have earlier discussed that geographical positioning or geographical locations can be a variable, north, south, east, west, or national, international, local. Then look at profile of emerging segments. It is not like whatever the segments are, you have to choose one among them. You can create or you can develop a new segment also on the basis of the product you are offering, on the basis of whatever you are manufacturing. If you think you can create a new breed of people that may follow you, that may be your consumer, so you can go with them also. Then validate segments emerging. You have to validate, you have to justify their emergence as they are important for your company, for your product, and your company is equally responsible or equally beneficial for the society. So second is targeting. Decide the targeting strategy. Targeting strategy simply means whether you are going to target one segment of a market, the whole market, or what is going to be your entry style, what is going to be your plans for development and growth. Then is deciding which and how many segments to be targeted at a particular span of time. Are you supposed to enter one market and focusing on one segment, or you are focusing on entering one market and going to tackle with more than 2 3 4 segments. So this thing has been cleared in the next slide, or we will see it there. Third is positioning. Understanding the customer perception. Customer perception simply means the expectation or the kind of uh, perception level or the consumption parameters they are expecting us to perform, our product to perform. So then when it comes to positioning product in the mind of consumer, we have to justify the kind of perception they are having. Every time we are buying something, we have certain kind of perceptions of a particular product in the uh, mind. So we have to, by positioning, we have to justify that whether whatever you people have thought, we are satisfying the same. And then we have to plan our marketing mix. The 4 or 7P structure we have to finalize on the basis of the STP strategy. Then is the criteria for market segmentation. Whenever you are going to segment a market, you have to first focus on certain criteria, and the 6 criteria that are mentioned here. First is identifiable. Identifiable means its identification among all the available segments. For example, male female is there, so you can easily identify that male is my kind of choice or female is my kind of choice. So the segment should be identifiable. It should be one in the rest of segments, and it should easily be identifiable on the basis of certain characteristics. They can be this gender, they can be the geographical location and all. Accessibility simply means your reach to the market and consumers, and your reach to the distribution logistics network, the supply chain management to the consumers. Responsiveness means the alertness of the people, the alertness of the segment. Whenever there is a change in whatever the 4 or 7P structure you are going to follow, so whenever there is a change, whether the market is equally responding or whether the market is showing their interest or disinterest to the market or not, to the strategy or not. Look, when they are non-responsive, then neither they can help you grow, nor they can help you plan futuristic activities. So when there is a segment which is equally responsive, then you may get so many things to learn. Then is the size of this segment matters a lot, because size here can be taken into two factors. For example, one is the size of the consumer, second is the size of the consumer buying. For example, let's say car is here, a four-wheeler is there. There are so many companies which are manufacturing cars below 10 lakh rupees, and there are so many companies which are manufacturing cars above 1 crore, 2 crore rupees in price. So both are doing great in their field. The basic difference is the first one is focusing on people with number, like large number of people are there who are going to buy a car below 10 lakh. And the second one is thinking about the money margin, the amount. For example, there are considerably less number of people who are going to be interested for 1 crore or 2 rupees, 2 crore rupees car, but the number of amount, the monetary variable is very much there. So it depends upon the company that how they are taking size as. Next is the nature of demand. Whether there is a fixed kind of demand or there is occasional demand, there is a regular demand or irregular demand. So it depends upon your product and it depends upon the market you are entering, that what kind of response in case of demand you are going to get. It depends. It also depends upon the nature of the products you are manufacturing. For example, if it is FMCG, then probably the demand pattern is regular, and if it is semi-durable or durable, the demand pattern is equally opposite. Measurability simply means the measurability of the output or input we are putting into the market. Whatever the actions or reactions, whatever the inputs we are giving to the market, whether they are being measured, whether they are being able to be measured or not. So this is these were the 6 variables which we are supposed to focus on while selecting the criteria for market segmentation. Next is the basis of market segmentation. I have taken 2 basic variables. One is the non-behavioral factors which are not related to human beings directly. Second is the behavioral factors which are a result of consumer study or consumer taste preference and his reaction. So very first is geographical characteristic. I just have to see. Okay, geographical characteristics. It as the name is specifying, geographical characteristics simply means the segmentation of the market on the basis of the location. Earlier I have discussed that we can distribute the market on the basis of the location. Location here I mean the northern, the southern, the eastern, the western or the central region, the local level, the state level, the district level, the regional level or the national or international level. So it depends upon you, your resources and your growth plans, which geographical location you are going to enter. There is demographic characteristics. Demographic characteristics simply relates to the features of the population. For example, the age, the gender, the education level, the income level, and these factors are considered while planning a segment for the product. For example, the buying behavior of educated or non-educated people, they are different to each other. In the same way, the consumption pattern is also different. The quality parameters are different for both the breeds. Same is with the different kind of age people. Then is the psychographic characteristics. Psychographic जो characteristics हैं, they basically focuses on the values, the lifespan, the human being is the psychology level or the rationality level also you can say. Here we can consider the factors like the taste and preference towards a particular product. They changes with the change in age. For example, the trend toward the consumption of fast food or cold drink, it is seen that the age group of 12 to 24, 25, they are more likely to have these kind of things like fast food and cold drink, and the breed of 25 above, they usually restricts themselves from having this fast food, the overdose or the extra quantity of these things. So it is again the psychographic characteristic of the individual that learning the perception level also they can be a part of this characteristic. The last is socio-economic characteristics. Socio-economic characteristic means the characteristics which are formed out of the societal or the economical behavior of the society you are living. Many times you have been told that what kind of things are good for you, what kind of things are not good for us. Being a part of the society, we have to actually take them all very seriously. So this is what they means, and these are the non-behavioral factors where which are actually being considered while selecting a market segment. Second is on the basis of consumer behavior, consumer awareness, or we can say the behavioral part of this market segmentation. These are the reflections of the consumer's reactions towards something. The very first is the benefits. Yes, the consumer is conscious about two things. One is the price of the product, second is the benefits he is getting from the product. So if you are going to justify, if you are able to justify the benefits the consumer is going to get after the consumption of certain products you are manufacturing, or the consumption of the products you are selling to him, then probably he can relate things to him, and the benefits are going to be a very, very, very effective and efficient tool in attracting him to the company's products, towards the company's products. Then is user status and usage rate. How many times your product is being used by the consumer. We can divide, मैं इन दोनों को इकट्ठे ले रहा हूँ, we can divide these in the most frequent users, the normal users, or the less responsive users. Look, for FMCG we can say these are frequently used items. For the semi-durable items, for example, clothes are there, and other small items are there which we are not supposed to use or consume daily. So for them the usage rate and the user status is moderate or normal. The third one is very less. For example, जो complete durable goods हैं, furniture है आपका, your cars, your furniture fixtures and your vehicles are there. So for them the user status is less responsive, and the usage rate is very less. But यहाँ पर one thing is to be focused, that is what is the time the individual spends on buying these particular items. For example, if it is some FMCG product, the person is just concerned for the brand. But when it comes to a durable item, for example, a refrigerator, AC or furniture, is very much concerned about the company, the performance, the after sale services, the warranty, the guarantee, or whatever the other factors can be. So these are very important while planning a segmentation for any product. Loyal status. It is for the companies who are already in the market and they are coming with something new. For example, ITC. If ITC is launching something, so the previous goodwill or previous response of the consumers to their product is something which matters a lot. So this is also the company has to focus. The loyalty gained is the result of the satisfaction of the expectation level of the consumers for the earlier product we alone. So if we have satisfied the same, now the responsibility lies again on the shoulder of the company, that right now they are supposed to be more focused and more clear with the demands of the consumers. And the customers, if they are very much loyal, then they probably give the next product of your company a try, at least a try. Attitude. The attitude of people towards a particular product. For example, you are manufacturing something that may include something which is not considered good in a particular region or country. For example, when McDonald's came to India, they have a menu. They had a menu with so many non-vegetarian items in the same. So in India, we are not that much open to this culture of having non-vegetarian. So the company's products were somehow denied by the huge masses. So the company needs to change their products menu, and they came up with an entire new vegetarian menu, and then slightly they are adding more and more non-vegetarian items to their menu. So students, I think that's all for today for this video. We will come back to you with the next video very soon. So till then, take care of yourself, take good care of yourself, your family and your neighbors. Thank you everybody. Have a good day.